are taking a hit from those blockages on the N3 near Harrismith. It is the country's main transport artery, if you like, which sees cargo flow to ports and back. The blockages are the latest, as we said, in a string of incidents which together have cost the economy millions. Warwick Lord is the CEO of the Cato Ridge Consortium, which is involved in a development hub which is aimed at alleviating congestion and improving access to cargo. Warwick, thanks very much for talking to us. I mean, it seems it's standoff after standoff on this highway, and I'm wondering why these protesters get their way with blockages at every turn. The economy, of course, is losing millions with these delays, isn't it?
Yes, that's very right. The economy is losing a huge amount of money every day, and just some of the modelling that we did at delays caused at the border posts sort of said 13.6 hours of delay roughly equates to 625 million rand in lost revenue. So you can start imagining what a blockage of the N3 does. It really does slow down our supply chains. And the N3, which is the very important arterial in order to get goods from the port into the hinterland, it does create massive issues, and it is something that needs to be addressed and addressed very urgently.
Now, Warwick, I mean, being involved in this consortium hub that hopes to facilitate movement of cargo from the ports back onto the transport highways, you would have thought that, you know, after so many protests that this highway has seen in recent years, we'd have intelligence come in, we'd learn from the mistakes. But it seems that, as I said in my earlier questions, protesters do seem to get their way. We find it very difficult to block these things. Why is that, you think?
Sure, that's a very interesting question, and probably a very loaded question as well. And many theses around it. However, you know, what we are concerned about in the industry is the lack of law enforcement immediately clamping down on these things. And for example, I've just been sent the court order for the sort of, in order to get the SAPs to now, they say police force to now clear the Montrose development, and apparently that's now busy taking place. What is concerning though is that a wait for this court order is required instead of just action being taken immediately. I mean, we need to understand that the N3, as well as the Transnet TFR railway lines, as well as pipelines, are key installation points. And, you know, if we're not looking after these aspects, we really do grind our economy to a halt. And, you know, what we're all looking for in this day and age, especially coming out of COVID, is sort of a huge emphasis on growth. And this is the sort of own goals we're busy scoring when we start blocking the roads like this.
Tell us a little bit more about this hub that is at Cato Ridge. I mean, of course, the intention here is to alleviate some of the congestion we're seeing at the moment. Just looking at the government's recovery plan, I suppose that hub, if it's sort of operating in the way we want it to, would see many of these blockages, well, the ones that are not man-made, go away and more accessibility.
Yes, exactly. The sort of whole point of the dry port hub as a backup port expansion to the Durban port is exactly to alleviate the congestion currently being experienced in and around the Durban port as well as in the Durban CBD. And the way simply to do that is to follow international best practice. This problem's been experienced by many countries worldwide when you have a port and a large city growing hand in hand together, competing for scarce land resources, that you create a terminal away from the port itself and connected either by barge or rail or some other form of transport in order to evacuate the port very quickly. Unfortunately, you know, there have been difficulties with the parastatals, and we've heard about those at various times in inquiries, etc. And unfortunately, it is having an effect on the movement of goods and therefore the economy, especially in this knowledge-based economy and online purchasing that's become so prevalent worldwide, especially with COVID. It's been accelerated. It puts a lot more pressure on our logistics systems. And if we are not putting all our focus into improving them and making them as efficient as possible, we really are losing a trick and scoring own goals, in my view.
Well, hopefully that gets off the ground and does improve operation-wise. Thanks very much indeed. Warwick Lord, the CEO of the Cato Ridge Consortium, talking to us there about the congestion on the N3 and its implications. Okay, quick look.